Hi Sharon, Declan here from CampusConnect. I have recorded this short video presentation just as I thought it might be easier for you to share with the team to review. I'm going to keep it very short and I'm just going to skim over some of the areas and provide a little bit more detail, and then you can review in more detail in your own time. So I hope this is useful. So a quick overview: what we do is we work with international teams to improve the conversion of international offer holders from the offer stage through to enrollment. So that's the window. We work with each of the teams to develop a peer promoter network. So that's a network of peers that your incoming students can connect with. So each subsequent cycle, that network increases or grows, providing more opportunities for the next cohort of new entrants to find peer connections and peer support. Within that network, there are lots of opportunities for content and for promotional type marketing materials, etc., campaigns, and we do a lot of student success campaigns. Particularly more recently, a lot of work around graduates and employability has been a big focus. We provide detailed insights in the form of monthly reports, and these are tailored to meet the needs of teams, and these are particularly useful. We look at things like engagement, trends, keywords, that type of thing, behavior, and it's not only useful in understanding your offer holders, it's also useful in understanding the wider international student market. A quick walkthrough. The students join at the offer stage, and the first touch point is typically the offer email. Students will receive subsequent invitations to join via email. You can do some promotional through social media, and in some cases it's on the university website. Again, that's a decision. So just to create more awareness, it is a gated system. It is for offer holders only, so it's not sort of widely available. It's sort of presented as an exclusive type invitation for someone who has an offer to join. The student generates a profile, and on doing so we capture some additional information such as their interests. We can capture obviously subject area, where they're from, so key things that we need. They can personalize their profile with an image and so on. Once they're in the network, then we can connect them up with best match peers. Now typically an international student will want, if they're studying data analytics, they want to know who else is studying data analytics from their area, from their country, and who is currently there. And with the subsequent cycles, we're able to put them in touch with a graduate who has actually completed that course. So it's end to end in terms of the student experience. So typically it's subject first, then we're looking at things like country, then we're looking at things like interest, hobbies, and then there's obviously process type things. We can bring them together as well. We can pull students together in chat groups. These can be filtered, so the students won't have to trawl through lots of information. We can spin up a chat group to target students who are studying psychology, for example, and we can have a more general group for students studying funding and finance, and so on and so forth. A group for incoming students from India, whatever the case may be. It's peer-led, which is good news. It means that the team don't really have much input, and in fact we encourage teams not to input, as it can take away from the peer-to-peer value. Teams do so you have different participants. You've got ambassadors in there, sometimes you've got graduates that are contributing, but it's mostly peer-to-peer, the applicants themselves that are connecting. The group messages are publicly visible. The private one-to-one messages happen between the applicants themselves, and between applicants and ambassadors, and applicants and staff, and applicants and graduates. We can see, obviously in analytics, we can measure things like engagement, who's connecting with who. We can observe different types of keywords and trends and things that are happening within the network. And all of this then forms, obviously, it comes together in the report that we work with each team at the end of the month. So just a quick, very general breakdown of the service. The peer connections is the first piece, which is, now these are not mutual, these are not, there's a lot of overlap here. Peer connections is essentially for each new entrant, we provide opportunities for them to connect. So we connect them with best match. Now the system will link them up. We monitor and identify gaps where we need to plug in peer support. So somebody who's interested, for example, in studying climate change, maybe is struggling to find somebody else, and we would flag that up, go to the international team, see if we can find someone, and if we can, we'd find the best match. But with subsequent cycles, we begin to fill a lot of the gaps, and we have enough peer support then for students. We create engagement opportunities, so pull students together in terms of groups, and again, that is the core. In terms of promotional, it's building that network. So with each subsequent cycle, we retain between 10 and 20% of the prospects, and we move them into ambassador or peer promoter type roles. And when they graduate, we hold on to them as an alumni or graduate type role in the app. So each subsequent cycle, we're building the network. Then that provides lots of opportunities for promotional marketing and content. There's obviously some training and support, which is part of that strand. And the third part then is the reporting and insight. So monthly reports, we look at applicants that are at risk of dropping out. We look at particular trends in the network and so on. It is teams, the type of service level arrangement we have with each team tends to differ. It depends how much resource is available, essentially what you'd like us to do and what you want to take ownership for on your side. Impact, generally, and this is very hard to isolate, teams have reported up to 12% improvement from implementing peer-to-peer support in that post-application, that offer through to enroll. On our side, we see 50 to 70% of offer holders convert into students. The one that really highlights value is where we see the correlation between the number of connections a student makes and their likelihood to convert. And we saw this particularly in this year. Students who made at least 3 connections enrolled. So our goal at the outset is to ensure that every new entrant, everyone who joins the CampusConnect network has peer connections, has somebody from their course, an ambassador, another current student, someone from their country, etc. to connect with. And then 10 to 20% we will hold on to, so we run an end of cycle campaign to retain as many students as we possibly can within the network. Students fed back, and you can review this in your own time, overwhelmingly positive in terms of the impact CampusConnect has had on their decision to enroll. There's some user feedback and registrations for each. At the end of this, we look at enrollment conversion, we run surveys, and we have in the past run post-arrival focus groups with students to look at sort of impact and so on. And there are some testimonials there for you to review as well. So that's it. I will keep it under 10 minutes if I can. If you have any questions, or if you have any thoughts, or perhaps there are parts of this that aren't that clear, I realise this is a very top level, just a quick run through, but I hope it'll give you enough food for thought and give you a sense of what we do and how it works. As I mentioned, I'm happy to put you in touch with any of the teams we work with. Liam Ryan at UL is a person who we work closely with, and he's happy to feedback if you'd like me to put you in touch. In the meantime, I hope to catch up with you soon. I look forward to hearing back, and I hope you find this useful.